seventh dimension.
Namaste and La Catch, my family, and welcome to another special Galactic Alliance update. I am your host, Rion and This is my brother, JP. JP, what's up, playa? What's going on?
Rion? Happy to be here. Happy to bring new information, new things that are happening around the world. A lot of things are popping up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's like, get into it.
Yeah, so, the whole thing with this, these narratives that have been going on, I always felt, for me personally, I was always about Earth Alliance, and I was also really about that Galactic Alliance, that the GA, that sounded a lot more familiar, at least to my heart, and now there's a whole thing with the Galactic Federation of Worlds. That's, also something there, but also, the Galactic Federation of Light, and just the Federation in general. And I think right now, in the discerning factor of what's going on, how for everyone to kind of process that. For me personally, I'll start with myself. The Galactic Federation of Worlds, I would like to say, for me, feels more like college. In the Milky Way galaxy itself, they said it's a repository for all the DNA from all the different species, right? The Milky Way itself, the entire Milky Way galaxy being a repository for DNA. So let's expand way out here. Okay. We're not pointing fingers in anything.
Well, but, in December 2020, Haim Assad, former head of Israel's space security program intelligence, he spoke of Galactic Federation of Aliens. He never said of worlds. So I just want to put that out there. Galactic Federation, let's just call them that. Galactic Federations. And then I think I just put out a last video out about the Watchers, or who are the Watchers and who are the Galactic Federations. And the Galactic Federations is people just like us. They're ETs, yeah. But they're just a couple thousand years more advanced than what we are.
Right.
What we have. And they've been in contact with the governments around the world with certain technologies that can manipulate space and time, certain technologies that can manipulate consciousness, certain technologies that can manipulate certain technologies that are like the Avatar or whatever you want to call them.
Right.
Projects. And I think that's what this administration is going to bring to the table when disclosure happens. How we're dealing with interdimensional beings with it that are included with the Galactic Federations, that the Galactic Federation don't have control of these interdimensional beings that come in and out from our existence, our timeline.
Right. My main thing was the age. Having, been down here and activated since 2009, and I know you've also had your experiences. My thing was that there was something in the layers of this game, of the physicality of the 3D. And as you go into the different dimensions, the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension, and up, my main dialogue has been, and I think with some of us Earth Guardians, let's just call us that, or the 144, or you want to call us the Azurites, there's something almost primordial attached to our DNA and who we are. And it's almost like, the observer mode and also what you're talking about, the Watchers, right? So I think that there is higher levels of dimensional interaction, and I think there are those that are in this game right now that are observers, not only of what's happening in the physical, but we're being used as a multi-dimensional observer to see what's going on in the lower dimensions, right? By larger cosmic forces, cosmic energies. Or, like I said, the Milky Way galaxy is a very large galaxy.
It is.
But there's something about that Galactic Alliance. It just feels a lot older. Do you want to go a little bit into, I know you did a video on the Watchers. You want to explain a little bit the difference that you found, with what the Watchers are compared to, the Federation and some of the different groups that are
the
out
Watchers, they share forbidding knowledge, types of knowledge with it's not sorcery. I can't call it sorcery, but the secret arts sometimes, and that's why I think people confuse them with angels and demons. Okay, so depending how you approach these interdimensional beings or these watchers, whatever you want to call them, you can receive from them. So they can either serve you or they can condemn you. Okay, if you read up to the book of Enoch, actually the Watchers, they treated Enoch with respect, because every time they took Enoch above and around, they taught Enoch that, yes, we were here since the beginning. We taught humans different arts, different forbidding knowledge, things that, us humans wasn't supposed to know. So
right.
there is, I think, good ones and there is bad ones, and that's what we the religion around the world get into, like, what are these angels or demons or other types of genies or other types of things are interacting with our domain, or and then you got the Galactic Federation. They're like the Nordics, Greys, the insectoids, and they're all connected with the governments. They're connected with also the governments that live within our oceans. There are also different ETs, lost civilizations in our inner Earth, and are connected with ancient ones like Aztecs, Indians, and other Indian tribes in the United States, North American United States, and north part of Africa, north part of Australia. These ETs are communicating with all these tribes with ancient knowledge, and I know a lot of people are talking about what's happening in Iran, but if we get into what's happening over there overseas, it didn't start there. It started with Iraq. It started with other Arab nation, Afghanistan. We're finding what's happening. We're finding ancient relics around the world. Well, we found ancient things in the south part of Venezuela. Okay, I just want to put that out there. And I said this in the show with Redacted with Clayton Morris. That information is out there. We're finding a lot of things are connected through Mexico. We're finding a lot of stuff in Mexico. That is really exciting that we just took out somebody over there in Mexico. So we're working our way up through Venezuela all the way up to Mexico. We're finding certain things that, Venezuela, yeah, we know that the president, he was doing a bad job, but there's always something behind something else. We found something in Greenland, a big ass ship or Vimana in Greenland. We're finding other types of ships in the south part of Korea, and we're finding big things now in Iran that's connected to what's his name? Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh. Yep. We're finding technologies that are connected with whatever,
Gilgamesh. Yep.
And it connects to also what we're finding under the Egyptian pyramid, and everything is connecting. Now,
I got a question. Do you think the stargates that they're finding in Iran and in Ireland and obviously in Mexico and in the south of Venezuela, let's just say, do you think these are portals, domestic gates, number one? Are they domestic gate, meaning from one location on Earth to the other. Okay, that's level 1, domestic gate. Then there's the international gates, I like to call that, which is interplanetary.
Okay.
But I'm starting to feel that these may be temporal time doors.
That's
where you step through a door and you're 5,000 years in the past, or you're 1,000 years in the past. And that's something that people aren't really processing yet. I stepped through this gate in Iran and it's 10,000 BC and you're in a side of a huge city that is cranking and there's a huge infrastructure around you. So are these really time portals? Everyone thinks you're working in the present. Go ahead.
When we first went into Iraq, they said weapons of mass destruction. Everybody thought it was something else that starts with the N, nuclear, right? But it wasn't really that. It came to my attentions to everybody else that they're finding these ancient portals, these ancient technology that can manipulate space and time. Not recently in the Oval Office, the scientists said that yes, we can manipulate space and time, but also yes, it's a temporal war that is happening, and whoever controls that, I tell you, Rion, controls the world. And
100%.
forget nuclear, forget any type of weapon. Whoever controls time controls.
Yep, the whole game. So these temporal gates. So I think maybe we need to, like I said, for all of us starseeds out there, love you. What we're processing right now, because we're all kind of our own captains, wherever you are across this beautiful planet, and you guys are listening to us or catching us live right now, you are your commander of your own energy and your own friends and family and your own consciousness. What I'm trying to say is that these temporal gates, there's a differential between a stargate going from point A to point B very rapidly. Okay. Mm-hmm. These are temporal gates. So what sort of allies, let's just say, or what sort of negative things can come through if you go through and access a temporal gate where one side's been closed? Remember in Stargate, they said, the gate that was on the Earth side, right? They rebelled and shut the Stargate off. Remember?
Yep.
In the movie. So you couldn't access it both ways. Now we're reintroducing or turning these gates back on, and what's on the other side. So I think that CERN, if you guys have, watched any of the videos, okay, of the people that used to work there, there is a lady that says in CERN, when she worked there, they were opening portals and dimensional beings were interacting with them.
Oh, yeah.
So that's straight facts. That's someone who worked there and says, I don't know how to explain this to you. These guys are opening. I almost want to call it, instead of using like a Stargate or an ancient gate, they are manufacturing almost like a synthetic wormhole and punching through to a parallel reality. That's what CERN's doing. So the issue is that what sort of polarity are they interacting with? I believe that the guardians of this planet, the guardians of the Sol system, and obviously the Galactic Alliance have complete the reins on time manipulation. And I think that's why some of them, for me personally, and I said this in previous videos, when the Galactic Alliance showed up, I feel was the main issue is when they always show up is when someone messes with time and the evolution of a species on a planet. That is the only time the grandpa and grandmas of the universe, not the galaxy, the universe show up. When you start messing with the species' normal evolutionary timeline and altering it. So I just kind of want to be clear with the difference here. I like to say the Galactic Federation of Worlds, your college. I'm going to say college. When you talk about the Galactic Alliance, I'm saying this is more like the pros. These are professional elder species that are their only motive is to monitor time and to make sure that we have an opportunity as a species to grow and evolve, especially into a class 1 civilization. So that's what I'm trying to feel. They're trying to monitor us. There's enough of us starseeds in the 144 that are here on this planet right now that I feel there's a vested interest to keep this game going, not wipe it like they did in the past, right? Many times. Because there's a vested interest from all of us trying to help our brothers and sisters activate that dormant DNA and remember. And I think that many of us never would have incarnated into this game, to be absolutely clear with me and JP and everyone out there, Emery and all of our brothers. We never would have incarnated here if that was the outcome that we saw was going to be the probability. I believe we incarnated here because we are a part of the golden timeline, a part of the gold team here to balance this entire realm that we find ourselves in. So that's how I feel about it. And I think the Galactic Alliance, that is more their MO as well. You know, they're not going to care who's the CEO of a company. They're not going to care who's the leader of any said country. When you start messing with technology that you're finding on down spacecraft, you start opening dimensional templates, you start creating artificial holes in a game that is not yours. I have to remind everyone on this planet we are just leasing on this earth, okay? For everyone out there going through their growth patterns. But what I'm getting to is when you start messing with time, they go, hey, that's when they involve themselves. Same thing too with maybe the Galactic Federation of Worlds showed up. Mainly, I think it was right after World War II, right? We started detonating all those A-bombs. And when you create a nuclear blast,
ripples, yep.
There's ripples that go through the entire cosmic web. And what happens is they've had nuclear explosions on this planet before. So they wanted to intervene and make sure that it didn't happen again. So I know, brother, I just ripped there. I know you have tons of insights on this stuff that you've experienced personally. What are some things that you find are most viable right now that's going on?
Right now, we're finding a lot of different types of relics, okay?
Right.
A lot of people are doing research, and soon this information is going to come out. I know you communicated with somebody that we know that's doing research in Mexico. There's other people that I know that are doing research in Egypt and also ancient India, these temples in India. And they're putting everything together, and it's getting to a point that we can't hide this no more. That we can't hide what happened in the past. So all these ancient findings that we're finding, like, you know, Mexico, we're finding things with Sanskrit, we're finding things with Egyptian, also Grand Canyon, they're finding stuff like that too. South Venezuela into Brazil, they're finding Egyptian, Sanskrit, and languages with Sumerian tablets. All throughout Puerto Rico, all the keys and all these islands are connected as well. Cuba recently, in the east part of Cuba, they're finding these step pyramids similar to Aztec connection there as well. And you know what was happening also with Cuba with Marco Rubio and all that. Also, they need a regime change, I guess. So everything is happening. Yes, it's happening. Yeah, they have a bad person that's in charge, but also behind all that, I want people to understand that behind all that, there's certain things that is happening with ancient technology, and we're connected with these ETs that are really coaching us. Hey, do it this way. Make sure you don't do it this way. Now, I know everybody's nervous with what's happening right now in Iran and Israel. Everybody's nervous. Everybody's uptight. But it's a temporal war that's happening, man. You open a gate, it's going to mess up this timeline on certain things that we think will happen, you know? So right now, if you don't want to believe or believe it or not, the timeline is like spreading out into like 8 right now. So
right.
A lot of people are lost in the sauce. Like, no, it wasn't supposed to be like this. It was supposed to be like this. You got remote viewers going crazy because they thought something was going to happen here, but now they're seeing something totally different. Right. They're like, wait, there's something going on. So somebody's
time distortion.
It's time. And it's not only one person, Rion. It's more than probably 100 people messing around with timelines.
Well, if you're remote viewing and you're staring at a target in the present moment, you have to realize that if the timeline fluctuates, the target moves. Now you're viewing a parallel reality of something that's taking place. And I feel that there is a governance overseeing this. In Sedona, they have let us kind of, have some 5D variations in our timelines. I know that the past 3 nights I've seen lots of training. There's a lot of you guys that are up and comers. I like to call you guys up and comers, but I was training with you guys for 6 hours straight last night. You guys are getting ready for an event. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not remote viewing, but there is something energetically that we are being prepared for in case this any shenanigans take place. Let's just say. I'm also, the whole thing is it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. So I rather you guys be fully trained up on exactly how to defend yourself and really defend your consciousness from being subverted onto a false or phantom timeline. Many of us wish for love, peace, prosperity, and sovereignty on this planet. We do. We don't feel that any one group or species should be dictating the policies that, to any group, as long as everyone wants to live in peace and prosperity. When you start taking people's rights away and you start losing your rights to speak freely, that is tyranny. And that becomes, there's a lot of people in the UK that are experiencing that. There's a lot of people in Australia that are experiencing that. So what I'm getting to is speaking your truth is very important. Okay. That being said, because I don't want to be banned from traveling to countries, I think we're all going to get through this together. All right. So with the time distortions, I know that there are beings monitoring it. I'd also like to say this too. There are agents that are embedded in this population that when someone opens a door, they're fully capable of dealing with what comes through that door and closing it. I want you guys to know that it's not like, oh my God, I can't believe it. What are we going to do? There are beings and groups here and angelics that are here right now that are in every single territory, every single town and village. Once activated, can easily deal with what needs to be done. The issue why they don't turn on as many suits or vessels is because these waves are going to come through. Okay, these waves are going to activate your dormant DNA and your memories. But what happens is if your oversoul accesses that dormant DNA and accesses the suit, you now have like an oversoul staring through 3D biological eyeballs. When that takes place, as you can see with many channels and trans channels, they actually change. That's no longer a certain person talking. You're now talking to this collective, right? Well, the same thing can happen with a light warrior. If there's something that pops off in your territory, you may be called, especially at night, but sometimes during the day, a lot of people have missing time, right? You may be called and your energy may be called to deal with something that is in the unseen world. And that happens a lot more regularly than you guys may think it does.
Oh, yeah.
This realm is in flux. So we can't tell you guys, this is not a stable realm we're in. We are in a full flux right now. And the issue is that which timeline are we going to walk on? I just want to remind everybody, your thoughts manifest your reality. To try to stay in a positive. Hey, here's the thing too. And I know JP, you do this. And let me turn my comedy on here. Listen, you guys are going to find that those of you guys that are training all the time, you guys are hiking, you guys are climbing, you guys are working out, you guys are benching, you guys are squatting, you guys are ready to go, charging from the sun. Listen, a human being unleashed, especially with that angelic force inside of your chest, you are a force to be reckoned with.
Oh my God.
Why do you think this planet is in quarantine? For all my fellow dragons that are in human suits, to all my fellow Lyrans that are in human suits, what I'm trying to say is have no fear. Just like it said 5,000 times in the Bible. What does it say? Have no fear. Okay? The fear is what, when you go into a place of fear, this is what happens. And this is how I know this. When we used to hunt jackasses, JP, you might not know this, but when I used to go and close these dark portals, I'd sit there at 3 a.m. in the dark in the forest, leaning against a tree with my third eye on, waiting for the adversary to shift or move like a predator. So what I'm trying to say is we can smell fear too.
Oh, yeah.
Some of us real light warriors, we can sense fear. And the thing we don't like sometimes is when our family members or our loved ones are reeking of fear or anxiety. Because what we do is we kind of push it away from us. We're like, hey, I love you, but I can't be in that energy field. Because it reminds some of us of how we operate at night and when we're running down these bad guys. You guys, there are light teams. Give me a thumbs up For everyone out there who might be watching me for the first time who actually don't know who are in these comments, go ahead, for all my light warriors that are watching me from here to South Africa, give the world a thumbs up if you know exactly what I'm talking about when at night you guys are running these jackasses down. Give me a thumbs up. I'll wait. You guys don't know who's actually in these comments staring at this feed right now, or you. What I'm trying to say is there's teams and groups of very powerful beings that guard these cities, that guard these towns, just like JP, right? In the military, there are also hidden white hats and different operational things that deal with some of this, let's just say, supernatural stuff, right? Can you tell us a little bit about some of the different groups or military branches that literally deal with supernatural stuff? Isn't there certain groups, I forget what they're called, that have different technologies that they send in when they're grabbing something that's not a human? Because people don't know. Tell them.
Yeah, we got teams out there that they sit in different rooms and we meditate and we go around finding bad guys. You know, they have the ability to get out from their body, and mostly in the night when everybody's sleeping. And these teams, they go out and they see who's trying to break in into certain areas of the military, and we know. And these are remote types of viewers, and then we got also like avatar programs that they put, like I saw this room lined up with a couple beds, and you get into this you get into this bed, and it could transfer you, the consciousness can be transferred to the other side of the world into another body, and this body is awake while your body is sleeping in the other side of the world. And then when this body goes to sleep, guess what? You're back into this body. So it's you know, it's similar to like the movie Avatar, but yeah, it's if you study what is scientists and how every electron is the same electron, and every electron goes into a microscopic wormhole, so everything that you see is the same thing and it's connected. uh, that can explain how we can use our brains and our mind with this lost art that we know of.
100%. You know, I know there's one group they called in. There was a story out of Mexico where they had some reptilians in a cave and they called in a special force. And I think it was the US government had a special branch. And these guys showed up with different weaponry, different armor and they're not shooting rounds. They're shooting, it was like plasma round. It was like they had like plasma guns and like they were in full Halo jumpsuits. And they're like, where's the problem? And they wouldn't take care of it. So what I'm trying to say is, do we know the straight legislation? Does anyone on the world know this? And this is, I'm putting this out to everyone, you guys, because this is a round table here at TeamLight. What negotiation did the surface sign after the destruction of Tartaria that allowed certain species to live amongst us on the surface? I know there's a contract. I can almost taste it. I can see it. What is the deal with the above and below ground? If any of you guys know, put in little bullet points. There's something, because if the Galactic Alliance or Guardians are allowing all beings to participate in this evolutionary game, my question is, then why are they allowing certain humans to be shipped off world and sold as food or slaves? How and why is that only go one direction? Why have I only heard of human beings being sold into slavery and for food? And I've never heard of reptilians being sold into slavery or food, or greys, or any of these other, or mantids. Why is it that we got chosen? I mean, think about it. If you run the numbers on this planet, why are we the ones being served up? Who signed this contract? Who has this agreement? And my thing is that I think that's part of my Galactic Alliance version coming through. It's like a lion that wants to rip through this place. I think this place has been so just taken over and mind wiped and Cabbage Patch Kids, and everyone doesn't know who they are. And my thing is that I think it's time for some of us to really activate that dormant DNA, turn on that lion inside of yourself and say, enough's enough, dude. Not to mention, why isn't anyone taking a GoPro into any of the underground cities? Where's the footage? None of you guys that are drive long range truckers that deliver this shit to the underground cities, none of you guys have a freaking GoPro? Are you serious? I'm just trying to be dead honest with this thing. The civilian population, which we represent, is ready for the truth. What about the whole underground city underneath Israel that the Nephilim are still running around like cockroaches? Where's the footage? I know you guys have it. So I'm just saying some things. We're not dumb. See, these gay elites and these groups think that we are completely uneducated and we are asking the wrong questions. My thing is, where is the evidence to show our true merit in who we are as a species and as a people? I think the human race and this hybridization that's taken place with all these different 30 plus species that put all their DNA into your avatar, your body, your cells, right? And the nerfing that happened to chromosome 2. I'm getting to a place where I'm starting to realize who we really are. And I'm starting to look around, and a lot of beings are kind of backing up, going, oh shit, they're waking up. Right?
Yeah.
They're really waking up. And like, my thing is that if these elder species, right? This is what I'm trying to do for all of us, because you guys are feeling this inside your body, some of you guys. Why, if we go energy body, are you going to allow us, like this, say this wave hits, we go energy body. Some of us go into just superhuman, supernatural beings. We just flux through this whole realm, right? And that's what a lot of people are saying, that when this flash happens or when these dormant things happen, this dormant DNA is activated, these special powers are going to turn on. This is my question. I have had to work diligently over the last 16 years to be able to balance who I really am and find peace and balance in that power. You're telling me, because we are like, I don't want to call us I call myself Frankenstein's monster sometimes because it worked. Okay. They rolled the dice with me and they're like, hey, it actually worked. Okay. For all my friends and family, this is what I'm trying to say. Finding your peace and balance first is going to be the most important thing. If you want to activate that dormant DNA, you really want to move past the reptilian brain, and you really want to become who you were always meant to be, the supernatural human specimen of source's awesomeness made manifest in the physical. I cannot express to you the extra due diligence you will need to do to balance thyself. It's not just know thyself, it's balance thyself. Because if you can balance thyself, ladies and gentlemen, that means all of your emotions, all of your thoughts, all of your actions, even your breath, your cadence, your thought pattern, right? If you can do that, then you can't be swayed one way or the other. You are now an immovable, untouchable being walking the earth. Okay, so that's something, because I don't want us to be activated. And a lot of us have a lot of rage, anger. We're going to be looking for these beings that have been torturing us this entire incarnation, and our parents and their parents' parents. The fear these beings have is real. You just don't realize why they're scared yet. That's what I'm trying to express to you. And I'm saying, on the other side of this equation, letting this shit go, dude. Even me talking about it, I'm saying I feel what you guys feel, right? Because that light body is so powerful, right? It was meant to be used to protect, not to be used in negative ways. And I'm just trying to say that from here to South Africa publicly, your balance is key right now. Brother, how do you feel about that?
I feel that there's a connection in all things that everybody's going through right now. I know people have been asleep, right? And everybody's having like a similar type of dream that everybody is feeling deep inside, that something big is going to happen, that something huge is going to change the next day. And everybody's living that anxiety of, oh my God, like I feel like I don't belong here, but I feel I'm here for a reason, and I'm here in this golden time to make a difference, but how do I make that difference? It's not only you and I, Rion, it's everybody that is watching, and capturing also this information that we bring to everybody, and being ready in every situation that happens. And that's how I was trained in the army. In every little thing, you have to be ready. You have to be prepared, be vigilant, have your head in a swivel, because you don't know sometimes who is who. And we're living in the time that everything is coming out in the light. And, and the white hats are winning. And a lot of people can't comprehend what's happening. But if you dig in and put the puzzles together, you realize that we are here because something is going to change when we all wake up at once. Once we all start waking up, and I'm talking about your loved ones, your friends, your family member that thought you were nuts. Now they're going into the picture and saying, wow, man, now even the government is talking about this. Oh my God. Oh, look at these files. Like everybody's waking up right now. Like you said, Rion, like, and I think that's what's happening. Everybody is beginning to have the same dream. And once that happens, once we realize that we're all connected and that we're having the same dream, and I'm saying that in a parable way, we're going to understand who are we in real life. Who are we, what type of people we are, and how are we going to make the difference on this earth that we're on, and what is our purpose. And I think people that are watching us right now, they totally understand what dream we're on.
100%. My thing is that I know how powerful my family is. And I know for all you guys just waking up out there, Instagram, Rumble, Facebook, maybe it's the first time you guys are watching JP and myself. I woke up in 2009. My third eye came on in 2009, right? Then I had to work behind the scenes till about 2015, opening, closing doors, and taking care of bad guys. That's a fast narrative. And JP obviously has worked in the covert military industrial complex, and he's seeing technology and things you guys can't even begin to fathom. Okay. So for all you guys that are new, that's who we are, and that's who you're staring at on, the camera screen or on your screen. But that being said, I just want that divinity in me wants to remind everyone in this game of experience to see others when you look at somebody kind of losing their beans, right? Or, going crazy or in a state of fear or anxiety, zoom out and see the last time maybe you experienced that. And for some of you guys that have lived very balanced lives, maybe you haven't felt like that since you were 20 years old or 19 years old, or it's been 20 or 30 years since you were in that state, right? It's to show compassion. And what this world needs right now is love. What this world needs right now is a connection to your heart and to source. Why? It's the only thing strong enough to balance the equation. Your mind cannot undo this. You have to use your heart and everything that is you, with the power of our creator and source streaming through your bodies, to do this. Because that is what that energy was created to do, which was to create, stabilize love. Love is the binding force of the universe. Love is a definition of literally the material world, right? You have matter. Love is matter, if you want to think about it that way. Love is matter. There's antimatter, and then there's matter, right? So even on the most scientific term, our term for love is really matter. We are the binding force of the universe expressing itself and experiencing itself. So when you see others struggling, pick them up, give them a hug, give them a smile. I'm not saying enable poor behavior, but what this world needs right now is this true disclosure to take place. And I think that as we're seeing with the Epstein files, as we're seeing with 176 or whatever members of Congress voting against, releasing data on all how their money's been spent and all of these slush funds. We're actually seeing these very negative, corrupt, easily purchased baubles.
Oh yeah.
Just these guys are just the worst of the worst. These are just beings that sign these contracts that do whatever they're told. They're groomed and programmed from a young age. They join these weird skull and crossbones type organizations. These are programmable meat puppets that just have a little more content and history from their data sources than you were allowed to have. So they feel superior. Okay. When you have beings streaming, cosmic beings, your oversoul streaming through all these dimensions into this suit, you bypass all of that.
Yeah.
You guys in deep meditation, up in the forests, up in the mountains, up at the beach, wherever it may be for you, do you guys bypass all that bullshit and all these conforms, these walls, these belief systems, right?
And
yeah.
I'm sorry, Rion, but
yeah, I know you go right there. Sorry, I was channeling that, but I'm saying you guys are going right through the walls of reality that bind someone's lower consciousness into a box. A lot of us starseeds and angelics on this planet, I'm sorry, you can't put us in a box. There isn't a box big enough to put some of our souls, ladies and gents. And for some of us who came here to be of service, that's just it. We came here to be of service. We're not paying the piper. We're not in the karmic cycle. We incarnated to help our brothers and sisters gracefully ascend this planet as Gaia raises her frequency and vibration. For that's the time it is on the great wheel. This whole planet works in cycles. We showed up exactly when you were supposed to show up. So I just want to remind people of that, because some of these narratives are a little too, and it's like they want to put you in tunnel vision. Let's focus on this. Let's focus on this when this is this much of what you should be focusing on, So that's all I wanted to say. There's no box that can fit me in. There's no religion you can put me in. We are Christed souls experiencing the physical. And when you get into that Christed state, right, we are here to help all of our brothers and sisters, no matter where they are in the levels of consciousness. That's why I feel this Galactic Alliance thing, there's something really ancient that moves through me. When I'm sitting outside in the backyard of my pyramids and I'm meditating, there's something old that is coming through down my stream and going, how are you? And it's not some of these little smaller dimensional beings, because my eyes on. I look and they're all going, oh no, like the big dudes are looking around, seeing what's going on. And I'm trying to say that ancient version of yourself, allow it to course through you. Because if you really believe that you are one of Source's kids, okay, let me be real crystal clear with you. Come from your heart, divine will, divine love. But being a part of Source's kids, which a lot of my friends and family are, you, JP, we are Source's kids. When Source wants to show up and utilize us to move his force through this plane, through this planet, through this universe, that is exactly what we are going to do. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's like you become the river. A lot of people get stuck in like a pond, right? And you're like, this is my belief system in this little pond. And this is what my mommy and my daddy told me and my teachers. And you're like in a swamp, you're in a pond this big. This is your whole level of intelligence is in a pond.
Yeah. When you need to
you start activating that dormant DNA. All of a sudden it starts to rain consciousness, right? All of a sudden the pond overflows. You move into a creek. You start moving down that creek. Things start moving by faster. You're starting to see things in areas you've never even knew existed. Eventually, you make your way into a river, where now you're in a raging Ganges River, the Colorado River, and you're seeing things and everything's moving so fast. Well, eventually, ladies and gentlemen, you make your way all the way to the ocean, where it's still again. And you realize that you spent the majority of your life living in a pond. For some of us, it's time to rejoin our brothers and sisters in our galactic family in that ocean, for that is where we come from, and that is where we will return. And just think about that ocean as literally the universe, the consciousness, and imagine that ocean being light, pure consciousness. So I just wanted to say that to you guys, because I don't want you guys getting stuck, right? We are all in transition. The timelines are shifting under our feet. The planet's vibration and the Schumann is literally changing under our feet. The solar flares are coming in, activating through every single molecular structure and spin of every single piece of matter on this planet is in flux right now. So just hold tight. And I wanted to say that, though, because I think the Galactic Alliance, I want you guys to think about it more like your grandpa, grandma energy. It is not the Galactic Federation of Light or of Worlds. That's college and high school. In the Galactic Alliance, there aren't synthetics allowed on board. There's no grays on board of the Galactic Alliance ships. Okay? I want you guys to discern between, these are the elders. That's all you had to say, bro. I'm like, yeah. If they show up, everyone listens to what they're saying. They are the most evolved versions of all the species that you are interacting with in the lower dimensions. So their age grants them that oversight. That's all I wanted to say. And I don't want to point fingers at different belief systems. I'm just saying is please pay attention to the age of some of these beings that are interacting. That's all. Brother, how do you feel about that?
I feel the same way, man. We need to bring that love. Always when I talk on stage everywhere around the world, I always talk about that love that we need to carry, because these beings, going back to the beginning, these beings from the Galactic Federation or interdimensional beings, they have mastered what is the love frequency, and they have mastered how love can work with you to help, grow in this universe. And these beings, they have mastered these techniques. That's why, hey, if you haven't talked to your parents for years because of something negative, pick up your phone right now or after this video and give them a call and say, hey, I know, forgive me, or I know whatever happened, but I'm here, because you never know when something can change and your life because of that particular not saying I love you to that person. That's why doors are not opening. It's just about the love frequency, and these beings, they know about that. And a lot of people want this communication with these beings, with these orbs, with these ETs, but deep inside they don't have that love frequency, and they're always hating on each other and always talking negative and not connected to what is the love. And once you connect with that love frequency and you start looking at everything that you look at, everything switches. Like you start looking at the ocean, you start looking at the coral reef, you start looking at how deep the ocean is, you start looking at all the massive species that you can connect with, and I'm talking this like if we like using your, you're in the pond, but now when you have the love frequency and you start watching the world in the frequency of love, you see how everything changes in your life and how you're supposed to carry yourself. If you see somebody with a flat tire, help them, be there for people, be nice, always do the right things. And I'm telling you, when things come out with this administration or anybody that disclose what it is, people are going to be shitting in their pants when the information comes out, because it's so deep. The information is going to come out that it's going to make people cry. It's going to make people in disbelief. The religions are going to be like, what the heck? People are going to really like, what the heck is this? Like the
Right.
information that is going to come out is going to be scary for some people, but people that knew the frequency of love and understand how to carry themselves, because everything that you do, every moment, every second, you're being watched. Okay.
Yep.
And you're
100%.
being judged by everything that you do. And if you're a negative person, guess what? You're gonna be freaking judged. And
Right.
people need to understand that we are being watched 24/7, and we're gonna be judged. And that's where we go to the beginning about who are the Watchers and who are the Galactic Federation. Because whoever is the Watchers, people don't really comprehend who can be these beings, but these beings, they're watching us
24/7.
Right.
And we need to carry ourselves the right way. If we don't carry ourselves, guess what? In our next life, you're done.
100%. The thing about it is, we are aspects of the watchers as well. We are also observing ourselves. I know many of us, you're always moving forward to become your future self. Let's just call it that. But I would also like to say, you know, imagine yourself in 5D or 7D on the left hand side. Imagine you in your robes and you're smiling and you're glowing gold. Imagine how you would treat others if you were in that form. Imagine how you would see the world if you were in that mental and energetic state, in that love frequency. I know that it's very difficult down here in these densities. I know that many of us have a hard time being in such a dense area, especially, in the physical. But I am here to tell you that all of the unseen things that you do to help people, all of the unseen things you do to assist this planet and your brothers and sisters, those are the things recorded in heaven. Not how much gold you have or how many assets and material wealth you have, but how many beings you have helped on your way and on your path, and how many beings that have helped you. And those memories and those connections is all you truly have when you leave this place, is your experience. You show up here with nothing, you leave with nothing. Then your experience that you had down here as a soul. My thing for all my friends and family is I want to make more beautiful highlight reels of us having a great time. I want to see the smiles on your faces. I want to see, that's kind of another reason why I like to do these conferences. I like to see everyone dressed in their finest, getting their little red carpet picture with their date. I like to see them dancing on the dance floor. I like to see them smiling. I like to see us on stage. And as we're activating this, everyone in the audience, I like to answer your questions. And I just like to honestly be, an older brother, or it could be an older sister for some of you guys out there, an older, or a younger. I know it could be, I look younger than I feel. Let's be honest. I look a lot old. I feel a lot older than I look. Okay, ladies and gents, as you activate this dormant DNA. But I am here to say that the light is winning on this planet. My thing is that course correction in your life to let go of things that no longer serve you, whether that be a person, a place, a relationship, a belief system. Now is the time to actually start to rise. And when I mean rise in frequency, rise in vibration, so you can maintain that love vibration. So with that, my brother, was there anything else you'd like to share?
Yeah. I know that this conference coming up in Rise in the Guardians is going to change the foundation and mountains of the mentality of certain people. And I can't wait to be there. And we're going to have a lot of good people there that's going to bring beautiful energy, Rion. And when everybody's in the same room and everybody realizes the energy that room is going to have for all these people that are going to bring new information, this new teachings of what's about to happen. People are going to realize, wow, like this is a rise of something, the rise of what we're doing, for humanity. We're doing this because we believe in everything that we are being told and we are doing for humanity. We're bringing this information for a reason, to wake up, and also bring the love frequency. There's going to be a love frequency in this conference that I already feel it now.
Yep.
So it's going to be overwhelming. And especially in Sedona, this beautiful place that carries the energy from the ancient past, that you can feel it once you enter to this place. And when you add all this up, Rion, it's gonna be amazing.
That's the thing, and we have two new additions to our Rise of the Guardians conference. We added Indigo Angel. She's a very powerful world earth gritter and part of the Guardian Alliance. And then we also added Ishmael Perez. He will also be there as well. And you guys, this thing is locked and loaded. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It is going to be one for the record books. And I'm very excited for the Navajo and the Hopi for participating on Friday with not only sharing their wisdom, but also with the Eagle Dance, which is going to take place at our mixer on Friday. Ladies and gents, we're bringing all the tribes and all the vibes, the high vibes together at this conference. And Rise of the Guardians Conference, May 8th through the 10th, is going to be one for the record books. I can't say it enough. You guys need to come. We're going to have Navajo Eagle dancers and drums on the stage going off Friday night. I mean, you guys have never, I'm Native American, I'm Blackfoot and Chickasaw. We got Navajo, we got Hopi, we got the Prophecy Rock.
Taino descendant from Puerto Rico. So
yeah, there you go. So for all the natives out there, come on through. We also have the Day of Being, which is going to take place on Monday, which is free for everyone. So ladies and gents, we're doing everything we can to make this as easily and awesome as possible for you guys. So check out teamlightstore.com for your tickets. And was there anything else you'd like to share, my brother?
Yeah. Thank you for having me here. It's going to be, these next couple of weeks are going to be an eye opener for a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of revelations soon. And I want that to be in this video. People are going to go back to the video and see this and say, wow, yeah, they were right. There's going to be a lot of revelations soon. So make sure you put on your seatbelts and make sure you're safe, because there's going to be a lot of revelations soon and people are going to be shocked with the revelations going to come out soon. And, I'm in touch with a person that soon we're going to reveal certain things about ancient ruins, and it's going to be an amazing opportunity for us to see the real shit that comes out, not no people saying, oh yeah, we've been there. No, we've been there. There's going to be living proof and videos of what we're finding. And, that's what people want. People want the real shit. So we're going to give them the real things, real stuff. So this is going to be the real deal. People
100%. So, that's all we can do. And I think that we do this for our brothers and sisters. And we do this because we're tired of hearing these false narratives. We want to hang out with people that have their own experiences, their own truths. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on our show today. All right. Till next time. Peace.
Ascending now to the 7th dimension.